Well, what is this? Let me move it away. This is Furfural. This right here, a little bit hard to anchor, is Furfural. Now what I'm going to do now is turn on this bright light so you can see it better. Now can you see it? Maybe a little bit like that. What am I doing? I'm trying to produce Furfural with Agave solution. I have about 300 grams of Agave, 150 millimeters of Agave. Each will give you approximately will give you about 150 grams of sugar. And because there's simple sugar and complex sugar combined, that gives you 300 grams of sugar. And what I'm trying to do is create an almond-like compound called Agave, but I don't think it will work for several reasons. And the several reasons are that I have to Agave rubber sugar complexes with sulfuric acid, 10% sulfuric acid in 500 millimeters of water with about 15 grams of sodium chloride. I add more sodium chloride to convert it into hydrochloric acid, sulfuric acid, to break down the chemical sugars and convert them into Furfurals, which is a lot harder to do. And also it's a little bit more difficult to do because it needs really high temperature. Right now, it's 52 degrees Celsius. All the articles are saying it must be about 120, 150 in order to work properly. So that's why it won't work properly too. But I had this at 100 or near boiling a few days ago too, for hours and hours and hours. Maybe for 4 hours I had it boiling at about 100 degrees or so. And the thing is that the yield normally for fructose corn syrup that converted with sulfuric acid is only about 3%. But because, and I read some articles, and if the temperature is below 100 degrees, then the yield is below 45-50% yield compared to about 80%. So instead of getting about 3%, you might be only getting 1 or 2% at most. And there's so much Agave in there that even if you had a small amount of the chemical Furfural, you would not be able to smell it. What I can do to show you is I can open this up. It smells like Furfural. It doesn't smell like Furfural. It smells like heated Agave. It smells like sort of like Agave. Furfural would have an almond smell, but it'd be overwhelmed by the aroma from the Agave compound. So this is a failure of trying to produce Furfural with corn fructose syrup from Agave with sulfuric acid and sodium chloride in solution. It's an interesting way of doing it. I'd recommend a heating mantle and getting it to 300 degrees Celsius and heating the whole flask like that with a heating mantle, but not a hot plate. But I can't really afford a heating mantle because they're like $1,000 to $2,000 on ProLab, and I can't afford to spend that kind of money. I already spent a hot plate, expensive hot plate, paid it off, so I can't really afford a heating mantle. But if you want to do this and do this effectively with this kind of method, I'd recommend a heating mantle. That would be a definite improvement over a hot plate. Thanks for watching this interesting, but it still is a failure to make it project that I'm doing. And also, I would not want to heat this up to 300 degrees Celsius because there's a risk that the flask could explode, and that has asbestos-like material, silicate asbestos material that could go everywhere, and that would be disastrous if that exploded. For my health and for the air quality, I would not want it to happen either. Thanks for watching this.